right. Welcome, wingers and wingettes, to another podcast episode. And today we have the dynamic duo in the building. Pop singers, power couple. They are bringing the vibe and hype, and I love it. I've been watching them on their platforms. But we have St Oshun in the building today, and I'll have them introduce themselves. How you doing, guys? What's the names?
Hey, how's it going? My name is Charles.
And I'm Portia. Thanks for
All
having us
right.
on.
You're
Yeah.
welcome, and thank you. So I met you guys through a networking server, and you guys we could come on a podcast and have some fun. And the moment I went to your page, I'm like, we need to have you guys here. Like the vibe was it was incredible. The videos, the music. I've been listening to Spotlight today. I've been listening to In Your Eyes, and I'm like, I love that because it's you guys just bring so much vibeness, so much dance moves to it, and so much creativity. When did this start? Best moments, worst moments?
Well, I won't go too deep. I will say that we started St Oshun, has it been 4 years? 5 years ago. We were previously part of a band that Charles was the band leader of.
Oh,
And it started with St. Oshun started with just the two of us after him purposely and strategically dissolving the band. And yeah, that's kind of how we started. But we met I want to say 15 years ago. Yeah.
15 years ago?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. How did you come up with the
In
name?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee, nice. Okay. Do you go for the
Yep.
Bucks or no?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay,
good.
Bucks, let's do it.
Right. I play with that team anytime I'm on the video game. I'm like, I'm playing with them. I love it. I got to. That is great. So 15 years you guys knew each other.
Yeah, 15.
Wow. So you guys have been recording so much music, and I looked at the YouTube. It's so extensive. Short your video. Do you guys do all of the planning for the videos yourselves? Like, is there a creative background?
There has been a creative director in a few of them that we hired, and that turned out to be good friends of ours, but I want to say 75% of them, the creative direction came from
Okay.
yours
Okay.
truly over here.
Yeah. Because it's like so. It comes with, for me, a lot of originality, pop star, and it's like for me it's like spotlight TV. Like, you guys to me will put on that performance and standing ovation, or it has to be another one. We need more, so much in tune with the audience, and you can feel that you guys actually just love what you guys do, and the colors to make the videos just stand out. I even looked at the one I think you guys did in your home with the two ladies dancing on the side, and then one of them was, I think, at Michael Jackson's mansion that you guys put on there. So I'm like, it's just so much that you guys do. Is there any like struggles in the beginning to get everything started, or is everything like, here's a connection, we can move you guys forward, let's go, you guys got the sound, or was it kind of different?
So yeah, there was a lot of struggles transitioning from a band into being an artist duo. When I was running the band, I made all of the decisions, and
Okay.
so that was good and it was bad. It's easy because you make the final decision, it's quick, you can get it done. But the problem is you don't always know what you don't know. And I didn't really have the experience of running a band. I had toured with a few other band leaders, but for very short periods of time. So I was never really trained to be a band leader before St. Oshun. Then when
Right.
St. Oshun, we transitioned into St. Oshun and we became a duo, we became partners. And that was a very different experience because now we're making joint decisions together.
Right.
And that's definitely a huge transition because number one, I was used to making all the decisions and just trying to navigate what that looks like, how to be willing to listen, be willing to say, hey, okay, let's try it your way. And that took a lot of time. And I'll give Portia a lot of credit. She was very patient because it was very difficult for me to transition from being just the sole boss to kind of being a co-creator and co-partner with someone.
Yeah, and that's something like just like with the podcast for me and the game streaming that I do, a lot of the creativity comes from my wife as well. And I'm like, if I'm going to lean to anybody, I love to lean to my partner because they're going to want what's best for the both of us and what's going to, make us better. What's going to, if there's any downfalls, like let's talk about it, let's bring it together, let's see how we can create something much special. Has there like for you guys been anything where like any like tours where possibly something went wrong and who's the first person like, all right, let's get us back in track. Let's remember where we started, how we got everything in place.
Do you want to tackle one of the many crazy times on tour, or do you want me to?
No, you go. You can start. It sounds like you got something on your mind.
I see it. I see it.
So this was before, I think it was before we were St Oshun. I think we were still the Charles Walker Band, and I can remember we were driving this had to been 20-year-old van. It was old. Like, man, it could have been a retirement home. Like it was
wow.
definitely, we had no business being on the road.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a couple Fords, but it was the really big one, the like 15 passenger. And I can remember the heat didn't work in it. The heat didn't work. So we had a
Working.
well, right.
It's not working.
we were using the heat for quite some time, and then
Yeah.
at one point it's like I'm retired now. I'm not working.
Yeah. He was like, let me deal with it.
So we had a little propane heater, which was really not very safe to have in a moving vehicle, but it's whatever. That's what we were using. So I can remember we had driven out. We had finished a show in Ohio. I don't know if it was Dayton. It doesn't matter. It might have been Dayton, or was it?
Or Cincinnati.
Okay.
Okay.
It was one of the C's.
It was.
I remember I had split from you guys at that point.
Because you were going to go visit your sisters.
I think I was going to a conference and then something. Who knows?
Yeah, you were busy.
But I had another agenda. So they hit the road. I split ways, so I didn't get to experience this, but y'all told me about it.
So she was in the car. She was in the heated car.
And it was a cold winter.
Oh, you had the propane?
Well, we had this little propane. So we're driving back. It was like 2 a.m. and we run out of propane.
And we had the full band.
Oh, yeah.
Horn section. We had background singers. I can't remember.
It was packed, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, those poor guys.
And there was nothing open to get more propane. So we drove 3 hours in 20 below weather with no heat. That definitely was a character building moment for the whole band, because what can you do? You can't really move around. You're in the van. You don't want to stop because you're in the van and it's 20 below. There's nothing open to get some more propane. So I think thank
God you didn't I don't think you had any personnel that were the kind that would like stir up some. So thank God there was peace, because some guys, they'd be like, what the F? Why you got me in this situation?
Yeah. Imagine cold and upset, cold and angry. Like you're shivering, like what the heck is going on?
Like, why am I fighting for my life right now?
Yeah.
After a show.
Bone shaking.
Like some of y'all probably got frostbite damage.
I think a couple people got minor frostbite. Yeah, that was definitely, that's one of those times, a lot of times there is no real glory to touring.
3 hours, because it had to be more.
Well, no, but the last 3 hours, we had propane for part of the way, and then it went out.
It wasn't even super comfortable. It was a bare minimum. Even with that propane, it was like, okay, I can tolerate it, but I'm not that comfortable. So if you can imagine, you're already, so this is comfort, and then you're not really that comfortable enough to just, now you ain't got nothing. Now I'm ready to cut somebody out. Like,
like this is not
so
working.
y'all was down there for 3 hours all alone.
And you were in the heat.
Yeah, I was in a comfortable car. In fact, I went to sleep at a fan's. I remember that. So I was in a heated bed.
Wow. So you had a fan looking out for you, making sure you were good?
I stayed the night at her house, and while y'all was out there suffering, Lord Jesus.
Shout out to the fans. Speaking of the fans, how are your fans? Like, how are they now? How were they before? How, are they riding hard for you guys? Like, how is that?
Well, the fans have changed. So the fans I was thinking of, in fact, I've not connected with her since we become from the Charles Walker band to St. Oshun. So there's been twice that you've lost fans. Why don't you explain that? Because it's a very interesting. I mean,
People don't like a change. They like what you started with the first time, and once you want to make a decision and move to something different, wait, I don't like that. But people have to understand growth. You're learning every time you perform, every time you come out with a song, every time it's a learning path. You know.
it is, and I love the evolution. I mean, it reminds me of the time I remember when Prince started really experimenting, and was it Rainbow Children? I think that was the first album, and I mean, I loved it. But I saw all the fans fall. They was like, "What the
Like,
f
what's
is this?
going on?
What are we doing? Where's the Prince that we love?" But yeah, tell her about, like, you were doing the blues. This was before me, and
Are
then
you
when
doing
you moved from
blues?
the Charles Walker band was a blues band.
Oh wow,
I mean,
that's
this is
awesome.
we going way back.
Yeah, and now you're doing pop. Yeah, this is different.
We going like 18-year-old Charles. Like, I don't even know how old you were, but um, and then right before I came, you switching over to funk and you losing your
Mm.
entire blues fan base. Go ahead and tell the story.
I think you kind of did, didn't you? Where you want me to leave off from?
Well, would you go back to back to blues at any point to give your fans? Would you scratch that itch that the fans are looking for? Like, can we get Charles back into blues? Can
They
we,
probably gave up.
you know?
Where are they?
Yeah,
Not at a live show. If we were doing a real long set, I might pull out a blues song, a popular
yeah,
blues song, maybe just for fun. But no, I don't think I would ever switch back. I love blues, but it's not really where my mind is anymore. I'm not speaking for Portia, but Portia really was not into blues. Like,
Part of the blues, the band when he was doing blues.
that yeah,
I came in and got hired when right about the time that we became a funk band, um and then when, because you told me, you were like, because you guys were on your way to sign a record deal, and I mean something.
yeah,
So there was like this rise of success and a fan base, and then switching over and starting over.
yeah,
And then when you dissolved the band, started over again,
mm,
you know?
yeah.
So I haven't even talked to that one fan.
You took the fans on a roller coaster, a roller coaster emotion. It's like even if you like went back to blues, it's like you would take them on a different direction of what your path is now. What are you trying to show them that you can do now? And it's like, all right, so you blues are this, and people don't realize in the back and in the front, you guys are putting on a performance. You guys are putting out a song. You guys are putting out the next creative thing. And one thing is you want to make sure that you're doing this for your love, your passion, and for yourself. And then you also have to do it for your fans that want to see what they came here for, what they put on that track for. And it's like not everybody we can please. If they ride for us, they riding for you. If they doing it, they loving it. And it's like
Mhm.
you got when I first seen, I'm like, oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce. And I'm like, I love this because all we get is Jay-Z and Beyonce. And I'm like, I have somebody new I can listen to, and I'm really enjoying the music. Like, and it gives that feeling. And it's like, has is there a music artist that you both look up to, or was like someone in your image that gave you this type of sound? Like, I'm going this direction, or what is that? Is there a certain artist that you guys love?
I mean, speaking of Jay-Z and Beyonce, I'm a huge fan of their duo group as well
Yeah.
as them as separate artists.
Hmm.
They're very powerful as a group, though. Like, I'm like, give us some more of that. Like,
Yeah.
I need another Carter album.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a lot of influences that I look up to. Oh my goodness. I feel like all the A-listers, all of the A-listers,
All
the
of them.
ones that put out hit after hit, not record, but album, which
Hmm.
is a very, very, very difficult thing to do. There's
Yeah.
only so many at the top,
Yeah.
I mentioned Prince and Michael Jackson,
Those are
um,
legends.
Rihanna. Like Rihanna's like
Mhm.
one of my huge faves, and I didn't come on the Rihanna bandwagon until like the last. I mean, I
Right.
liked her, but I didn't really appreciate her maybe until like the last. I want to say 6, 7 years. I don't know.
Yeah. 6, 7 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wasn't there. I wasn't there for the early Rihanna,
It takes time.
the Pond de
It's
Replay. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Not even for that
Uh,
song. That was good.
I mean, I was a fan, but I wasn't like,
Yeah.
'cause, you
Like
have
how
like
everybody
fans
is
and you have
now.
like super fans.
Okay.
Some
Mhm.
I'm getting closer more to a super fan. You know what I mean?
Okay. I get it. Yeah. It takes growth. And
The
yeah.
super
Yeah.
fan
Yeah.
gonna be there even after you reinvent yourself. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
As we were talking about all
Concerts,
the
albums.
transitions,
Yeah.
because that's kind of how a lot of these guys will stay relevant. They can't be the same. Like
Mhm.
nobody's. That's the irony of it. Now I'm getting into a different topic, but the irony is, you got a lot of these fans,
Mhm.
and the fans are really the ones that really dictate like if you're hot or not. Honestly, like think
Yeah.
about that for a second. Like you
Yeah.
might think your stuff or your song is really good, but the fans in your performance, but the fans are gonna be the ones that say, "Oh yeah, that's hot," or like,
Yeah.
"No, they're not hot." Um, but and they could be like the biggest haters at the same time.
Exactly.
But you have to reinvent yourself to
Yeah.
stay relevant every time. Like, how long have been an artist? You've been an artist for like 20 years plus. The pressure is to reinvent, to stay
Mhm.
relevant, but then you may lose some fans, but you're not gonna lose your super fans. Like super fans are just
Yeah.
they done signed up for life. But yeah,
Yeah.
I just thought of that irony.
No, it's so true because like even like the whole industry honestly is such a mind game. Like I don't know if when you guys started was the social media like the number one thing and someone's like, you know what, you guys gotta make shorts, you guys gotta be on YouTube, you guys gotta be on TikTok. And it's like even for me with going live, streaming video games, having a podcast, you have to put out shorts, you have to be consistent, you have to go on TikTok, you have to either from gaming platforms, Twitch, you have to put yourself out there because everybody is on their one thing and it's on their phone. you know
Mm-hmm.
it's not like before, just turn the radio on, oh, that's the new song out there. Now it has to
Mm-hmm.
be a trending song to go with your video, and now as an artist you have to make that song trending so that they want to continue to hear that and post it and move along with you and be a part of your moments, your videos. And I'm like, yeah, social
Mm-hmm.
media is taking things by storm. Like one moment, if people are with you, then they're not, or they stick with you, just like you said, the super fans. Or if you change something or change a tune, it's like, well, why is this? Why is that? And I'm like, you can't please anybody, but you that next video or that next moment, it just may be the one that gains that person that was a fan of yours before and back now. And it's like, it's just basically consistency, you know?
It is consistency, but who we're a part of a really small boutique label, uh, and the A&R that we stay in contact with the most. He talks about how fans are like your biggest haters,
Mhm.
right? Um, I don't think that that's the super fans though, right? I'm
I
always
don't
trying
believe
to
it
figure
would
that
be the
part out.
super fans.
But a lot of the fanship is just the fans, not the super fans. Like people
Yeah,
like they like to jump on a bandwagon. Like they're easily
right.
like, "Oh, I want to just be a part of this movement. I want to be a part of that movement." I mean, how many people hated on Beyonce
Yeah.
for like the last 15 years? It's
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
literally
Anything
just
she
hate.
would
I mean,
do.
they still kind of there, but they still fans. It's just weird.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Cause they're always looking for something to pick on, but want to love you, but pick
they
on, but want to love you, and it's like,
they yes. Your biggest haters is your fans. Like because
yeah,
they will. He talks about how they will have you up like this, you know. He said, but they will push you down in a heartbeat, like they not loyal.
mhm, yeah. they're ready, and I feel like they're on edge, waiting for the next thing. Like, all right, can you keep it up this week? All right, okay, the momentum's there. Whoa, why'd you bring it down? Why did you, you know?
But not to hate on, and I don't want to make this out of like I'm hating on my own fans. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the irony of it all, just thinking of the transition that Charles has made,
Right,
through his
right.
musical journey and seeing the fans fall off.
Hmm.
It's no one's, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just the nature of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the nature of it and the ebbs and flows. But them super fans, those
Hmm.
super fans signed a
They're gonna
contract for
ride.
life.
Yeah,
It
they're gonna
doesn't
ride
matter.
for you.
They're like, you changed my life. I don't care.
Yes, yes. Like they're gonna see exactly. The super fans are gonna see you for you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna ride with you. They're gonna go with the changes and the
Them
emotions.
is
They're
the
gonna
ride or
understand.
dies. Because when Prince
Yeah.
changed, I was still with him. I was like,
Right.
"Ooh, this album good." Like, okay, I see
Right.
the vision. I see it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me see more. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like, what was like one of the biggest sacrifices you had to make for your music career?
Mm, mm. I'm gonna let you take that. We made a lot
Like,
of them. I think we kind of major in making major sacrifices
yeah.
because this is one of those careers like you gotta want it
Hmm.
more than anybody wants it for you. Like, and that means making sacrifices is like your values shift. Here, let
Yeah.
me just your values end up shifting. I even had one of my family members say, uh, you know, it's kind of like this. She actually said something along the lines of, and she said it more than once, but
Hmm.
it's like, oh, you're being irresponsible, and I'm like, you're infringing on my values.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you're doing because what you see as responsible is it's me choosing a value.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a
And putting
grown ass
yourself
woman,
first.
and I know you make your money, you spend it how you wish. Like for instance, I have a sister that loves to spend her money on entertainment. Period. She's a super fan of a lot of different things. She buys the sweatshirt. She will pay $100 more than
Yeah.
once for a really nice sweatshirt with the artist.
Right.
She will, yes. And she makes sure her bills are paid. But as far as saving that money for something else, she'll be like, oh,
But
Doja
that
Cat's gonna be where? I mean, she even went to go see who was it? Guns N' Roses. I was on the floor.
oh yeah.
I said, so you went to see Guns N' Roses Friday night and turned around and saw Doja Cat the next night, This is in
Wow.
Los Angeles. But this is her value.
Yeah.
And then another one of our family members, like, no, you need to, in her mind, she needs to save money for her future. And I'm like, but that ain't her value.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
value is right now
Yes. Right now, this
spending
moment. Yeah.
spending her time. She says, I want to see artists because she lives in LA too, my twin. And she's
Hmm.
like, I just want to see all the artists that I said I was going to do when I was a lot
Yeah.
younger and I never did.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm bringing this example up is because my values are so much different than the average person that has the
Hmm.
regular 9 to 5, right?
Right.
Charles' values are a little different. A lot of entrepreneurs, their values might be way different. You know,
Hmm.
maybe they're putting their career before their family. And there's a lot of people that sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah.
And
But
it's
it's
like, but that's his value though.
right.
So my sacrifice is gonna you're not gonna see it as a value. You're gonna see it as me being irresponsible.
And they're not in your shoes to make these decisions, and not in that
Yeah.
creative space to even understand. Because even for me, like I was working for a government job like for 4 years, telework. They were like, "Oh, you telework? That's great." And I recently, honestly, quit. The video went kind of viral for it because I'm like, I'm gonna put me first. And you know, my mom said, you do what you got to do. Back in the day, we just don't quit jobs, and I respect it. And I'm going to make sure, like, I'm a thinker, like, I'm making sure that things around me will be okay while I go ahead and be this content creator that I've been doing, but now I can do it so much more. Now I can be frequent with it. Now I can give consistency. Now I can do everything I need to do to put me in the direction of where I want to be. And that's just in the eye of content, always doing something. And it's not for anybody else to understand but me, you know?
Because
It's not for
you're the
anybody else
kinds.
but me.
It really isn't. But the kinds of sacrifices that you make for
Yeah.
your own dreams, it's for you to understand. Nobody else is
Yeah.
going to understand why Elon Musk did whatever he did
Mm-hmm.
to lose. Who told me that he lost? I don't know how many millions of dollars at one point. But the point is like
Yeah.
the bigger the risk you take, people don't understand about sacrifice. You're setting, it's just a universal law. You're setting yourself up for the big win, but
Right.
you have to take that same level of risk, right?
Right.
It's just the universal law, but it's really none of your business.
Mm-hmm.
The kinds of sacrifices that I'm making, because it's not going to make sense to your mind because it's not your world.
Yeah.
But why don't you go ahead and tell her what's some of the
That's
sacrifices?
so true. It's so true.
So what I think people don't understand is we constantly sacrifice because we constantly choose. When I say I'm going to be on this podcast today, it means that I'm not going to be running. I'm not going to be watching TV. I'm not going to be writing music. I am making a sacrifice of my time to do this instead of something else. So
Right.
when somebody says, because going back to your one sister, her value is family. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. She's willing to sacrifice, and she has. She sacrificed a lot to make sure her son could go to college and continue that family tradition going. So she's given up a lot on top of her regular job. I think she's done, like, I don't know if it's DoorDash or grocery delivery or whatever.
Yeah.
To
Whichever.
really,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
she is given and she has sacrificed because that's her
Mm-hmm.
value. And for us, we have sacrificed years of vacations. We've sacrificed years of going out and doing what we wanted to do because all of our money goes back into our career because we believe.
Yeah.
Even sacrifice like not paying rent,
Oh, yeah.
which most people are
Yeah.
like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Not paying rent to pay for something in our career that we believed in.
My God, I really, honestly, 1000% appreciate you saying that because
Or
not anybody would say that. I'm in the
people
same
won't.
boat. Like,
You know what? The A&R that that we work closely with, he's like, you know what? Because there's a lot of artists on his that's a part of his label that they're not signed to deals.
mm-hmm.
They're just there for artist development. But he's
Mm-hmm.
like, a lot of these people, a lot of these guys, they think they want it, but if you ain't gone through no hardship, like were you
Yeah.
living out your car, or you
Mm-hmm.
didn't pay rent, and you
Mm-hmm.
decided to take that money to do something that, to put towards your career because you just believed in it.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's like you're not there. You're not there.
Yeah.
If you've not decided to make these sacrifices, you're not out there. People don't even know. They see you on your social media and you seem to be kind of blowing up. Maybe they have no idea. Like, you delivering food, you like,
Yes.
who knows what you're doing? Like, you're Ubering, you're
Mm-hmm.
maybe you eating ramen noodles. Like, you making sacrifices around
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
because you believe in your dream.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't even have to be a dream that you believe in, but whatever it is that you believe in, that you value, that you like, maybe you
You
have a
would do
child
anything
that you
for
do
that
anything
value.
for.
You would
But
do
people ain't talking
anything.
about the not paying the rent part. Yeah, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I even said, I'm like, come on now. There's always a payment arrangement. I've done collections for years. They're going to work with you. There's a payment arrangement. Somebody's going to fix it. However, someone's giving me this opportunity right now. It's on sale or it's given to me. I can get it right now. I'm putting that first because I need to be where I need to be,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
people won't
yeah.
understand that type of drive.
Yeah, and a lot of the times it's like, okay, this is an opportunity. Let
Yeah.
me 100% like do what I need to do because I may not see this opportunity, or this could be the one. Whatever you're believing.
Right.
Because the part of the belief is you ain't worried about that rent. You like, okay, this is gonna pay my rent. Like, let me just go after this.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna work out. Like, these are the things that a person that has a lot of drive is thinking.
Yeah.
They're making
That
these kinds of. They're
ambition.
just making. ultimate sacrifices. I mean, Charles and I drove because right now we're in Mexico right now,
Oh,
and
nice.
we're in Tijuana, which is right across the border.
Right.
And I mean, we still live in LA. Our residency is still in LA. Our things are
Uh-huh.
still in LA. But we're just doing a month stay here, and now it extended to a second month. So this is month number 2.
Okay.
But the reason why I'm bringing this up is we went I felt like it was a big sacrifice.
Yeah. Right.
We drove all the way to LA for a show last weekend. And these are the kinds of things that is a sacrifice that people don't even know. Like the fans didn't even know this. But we weren't making no money for that show unless we sold merch. Because that's just the way the show was set up.
Right.
They didn't have, it was a free show. But it took us, 3.5 hours just to get there? It was maybe like
Way
4
more.
hours. Because it was traffic. It was a bunch of stuff that was going on. Like, it usually, if there's no traffic, it's maybe like between Tijuana and here, maybe 2.5 hours, no traffic.
Okay.
It took us 4 hours to get to this show. Who wants to do that? The person that's driven, the person that sees opportunity in that anyway.
Yeah.
You know, we saw an
Yeah.
opportunity to do another show. We saw an opportunity to get more fans. We saw an opportunity to get better at what we do. We saw an
It's the
opportunity.
open eye of things.
Yeah, we saw an opportunity to like be a giver to whoever shows up to the show, to fan, maybe change their life, et cetera, on down the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
But some people, you know, they're like, where's the money? Like, I ain't driving that long way for nothing.
Yeah. And they don't
Yeah.
even know what to do with it when they receive it.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with it.
And I think to piggyback off of something we were talking about earlier, I think a lot of times when people say irresponsible is because they don't believe in your dream. Because if
That's good.
I don't feel this way, but if I were to say to your sister, for example, that's
good.
really irresponsible of you to be gone so much to make that money for your kid to go to college. Like, you should be home with your kid. If you loved your kid, you would be home raising him, right? Because that would mean I don't really believe in what she's doing. When somebody says it's irresponsible to use your money, because if it would be one thing if we were like, okay, we're going to take our money and, you know, go on vacation all year long. And, you know, yeah, that could be irresponsible. That could definitely be. But when you're investing in your career, the only reason you would say that it's irresponsible is because you don't believe it really could happen.
Right.
And then when it does happen, these same people like,
Yeah.
I always believed. No, you didn't.
Yeah. It's like, what is going on? Like, now
You be
they
like,
out
you
here doing
didn't, but
work.
that's okay. Like, it wasn't your dream to believe in the first place. So it's
Yeah.
fine. Like, nobody's judging you, you know.
Yeah,
But that
exactly.
is a good point. Like, anybody that's saying you're being irresponsible doesn't believe. I mean, it reminds me of your mom. She had different values than you. You believed in your career, back on the career, in your own dream, more than you believed in that. So then you sacrificed. I mean, it wasn't really a sacrifice, but when given the choice, like if you were
Yeah.
putting it to an ultimatum, like it's
Right.
either me or the band, like you was like the band.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that being said, like, you know, Charles' mom reminded me of someone that, again, you know, rest in peace, bless her soul. But, you know, her values were different, which is okay. I mean, that's what makes us a beautiful
Yeah.
community, is everybody has different values. But it was like she was thinking that values is something that he should have the same as her, or her belief should be the same. So she's like, what are you doing? Like, your family, like, what do you mean you're splitting up, you know?
Yeah.
But he had a dream. He still has this dream,
It's
you
just
know?
going to be, shown differently, and it may not be something you agree or don't agree, but you have to
People don't
pursue it.
understand.
Yeah.
You know, they don't understand, but it's not their dream to understand either. So
Exactly.
you can't be mad at them. You just have to, who is
Yeah.
moving? You just have to be patient with, like, my family member, with Charles' family. You just got to show some level of patience and
Yeah.
understand that they're confusing values with
Exactly.
dreams, with beliefs and irresponsibility. It's like, these are all different things. Don't confuse the concepts, but they're
Yeah.
also not going to, like you said, Charles, they're not going to understand if they don't believe in the dream with you, which is not
Yeah.
place to believe it, but it shows you they don't
Mhm.
really believe it.
Yeah.
They don't believe
Yeah.
it for themselves,
Yeah. A
which is
lot of
cool
people don't
because
want
you
to see
got to
that.
believe it for it to happen anyway. So don't
Yeah.
it ain't really for nobody else to believe. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like,
As long as you get it, you understand it, you feel it, is what you want to go for. It should be everything that you back up, you know? And you guys both have each other to make these things happen, to make all your visions come to light and show it to, all your fans, new fans, previous fans and everything, and the more you guys come together, creativity, you guys believe in the dream, it prospers from there. It does. It really
it
does.
does, and I feel like it is important to have a partner. You know what? I was just
Mhm.
listening to a podcast with there's this guy named Bo Eason that
Okay.
wrote this really amazing book called There's No Plan B for Your A Game.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
really good, meaning, and it's really about the premise of the book is about being the best at what you want to do in life
Yeah.
and not being shying away from that. He's like, we all have a birthright to be the best.
Yeah.
Why are we giving out ribbons for participation? Why are you not training your kids and yourself to be the best? He's like, it's your birthright. You were the best when you came into this world. Out of how many eggs? 3 million? I don't know. You won that sperm. You won the race.
Yeah.
You won that race. You won the very first race of your life where you're not trying to be the best. But the reason why I'm bringing him up is, yeah, he's got a very interesting story where he was like the run of the litter when he was a kid. There ain't no way in
Yeah.
hell. Like, why did this dude is not gonna be in the NFL? Like, give it up, bruh. But he
Mhm.
had a dream when he was really, really young. I think he saw OJ.
Okay.
Like,
That
OJ
that's
is a
an
running back in
inspiration right there.
college, and he
Yeah.
was young. He's like, I want to be the dude that stops that guy. And he
Mm.
was a little guy, and he had this 20-year plan at like 8 years old to
Wow.
become the best safety in the world, and he did it.
Yeah.
He did it. His name is Bo Eason. Um,
That's
but
really
anyways,
good.
I was listening to a podcast with him today, and he mentioned, I'm circling back to getting the support from having that kind of support from your partner.
Right.
And he said in this podcast this morning, he was like, you know, I would never get married. First, he talked about, like, he's like, I live in California, and the divorce rate is like 75%. And he's like, that seems so crazy to me. I would never get married to someone that is not supporting my dream.
That's so true.
I married Dawn because she's supporting my dream. And he
Mhm.
said, but at first I was like, dang, so you not support her? He's like, and I'm supporting her dream. What is her dream?
Mhm.
I'm there. I'm going to make sure it happens. In fact, you said something when we first got on that reminded me of that. You were
Yeah.
like, your wife is
Mhm.
going to, you go back to her when things go sideways because
Yeah.
she's got your best interest in
She's
mind,
gonna
and
put
we're going
this
to
in
figure
in
this out
place. Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
she believes in your dream.
Exactly. Exactly. And
And
that's the
that's why
that's the
you're
main
together.
person. Exactly. That's the main person I want on my team. Because whatever that input is gonna be, it's gonna be something to push me in the right direction.
Erection.
Whether it's hard criticism, whether it's not. And there's always gonna be that tough love because it's like, come on, you need that. You need that. Somebody
You
may
do need
doubt you.
that
You
tough
need
love. You
that.
need that tough love. You need that honest, unadulterated feedback.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, when's your you guys' next music video too coming out?
I
Or
don't
when's the next
know.
song dropping?
So currently we're working on a couple of songs. I want to say, what's going on? Hold on for a second. They keep moving he's playing. Oh,
The cat?
we, so in front of us, which no one can see, is another camera, the
Okay.
behind the scenes
Yes.
for that we want to use for other social media
Yes.
bits, little
Mhm.
bites here and there. But we have one of the kittens playing with the toy that's keeps pushing the tripod around. Hit the toys
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on the leg of the tripod. He's like,
Trying to mess it up.
right, right.
What's
So
that?
wait, your question was, when is the next music video,
Mhm.
and what song? What are we working on right now? I'm gonna let you chime in on that.
So I think that this has been, you've asked us a lot about challenges, and that's kind of been the theme. And I think that's been our next big challenge. So we had a really big success with our song I Do this past year. We released it back in January, and it was really what got the attention of the record label that we're working with now. Um, and so that's one of the hardest things about having a record that's successful is then trying to follow it up. And so
Mhm.
we've been working probably a month and a half. We've submitted a few songs, and it's been no, not that one, not that one, not that one. So after we get off this podcast again, we're going to sit down. We have a bunch of ideas we're going to try and put together. Um,
Yeah, that's crazy that I think what people don't understand behind the scenes and what I'm actually learning as an artist, um, that's only been a recording artist for like the last 3.5, 4 years. Because before I really wasn't recording, I was doing a lot of
Right.
performance.
Right.
But in order for you to get a really, 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 really great song, like I mean, really great song, you gotta write a lot of songs.
Yeah.
You gotta
And
write
test them
hundreds
all
of
out.
songs.
Mhm.
You gotta just write them, and some of them may be good enough for an album or whatever. But like you're looking for like the best of the best. I'm thinking
Yeah.
of Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones. I don't know if
Mhm.
there was an interview that Quincy Jones had done where you learned that was it Rock With You or Thriller? I think it was Thriller. The album Thriller.
Mhm.
They wrote,
Yeah.
they wrote 100 songs for that album to pick out the
Gee.
best. 100.
Yeah. That's a
That's
lot.
why that album was effing fire. That's why it's the greatest of all time. That's why it's the best
Yes, it
selling album of
is.
all time. And it's been decades. It's still the best
Mhm.
selling.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we've never had anyone give us that kind of feedback where it's like, okay, write another song. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
he's like, it's a good song, but that's
We're
not what
looking
I'm
for,
looking
yeah.
for.
Yeah.
He's it's up against a different measurement, a different stick.
Yeah.
And it's reminding me like you just gotta keep writing.
Yeah.
Just write as
Oh,
many
so
songs
much
as you can.
pressure. You like, right? Like
It
you,
is
you
a lot
gotta
of
keep
pressure.
you gotta
But
keep
I
doing
think
this one, doing this. Yeah.
but I think now that I'm speaking about it, that it's really about writing as fast as you can and as many as you can, because that is in itself is a universal law. Like
Mhm.
I think of even Bruno Mars' story. I read it like a while ago,
Yeah.
maybe a decade ago, but I read a bit of his story, about when he wasn't signed. I mean, I'm sorry. He came from Hawaii and when he was like 18 and his goal was to get signed right away. The way I understand the story. So which he did, and it was I don't remember what label it was, but just like a lot of artists, I think he got shelved.
Yeah.
People don't know
So
that, but
talented too.
you can get signed and get shelved easily. Like in fact, it's probably a bigger percentage that you will get shelved
Yeah.
because it's a business. So they may have a cash cow at the
Yeah.
label, and they're going to put most of their money in that.
Mhm.
So and then you get shelved for different business reasons, right? So he got
Exactly.
shelved, and he decided that he just wanted to be one of the best writers that there was. So him and Philip, who was also on this label, who is now still part of his team. In fact, I
Mhm.
think you see him in his shows as one of the singers.
Okay.
Um, and I know he's a part of his production team. They decided to write. And if Bruno Mars, if you ever see this story, I apologize if I get the story wrong. But anyways,
Don't fact
he
check.
like
Don't
that ain't
fact
how it
check.
happened. But they decided to write. Decided to become a writing team, and he said he wrote over 100 songs before one got picked up.
That is so
And I don't
crazy.
even know if it was I Want to Be a Millionaire, It's So Fucking Bad. It was one of those. It was
Yeah, because
something
all
that
the
put him on the
songs
map.
are great. You would
And
think
maybe it
like,
wasn't that one, but you gotta like keep writing.
yeah, you
You
gotta just
gotta,
keep
and
going,
then
keep going.
that gold is in there, but you can't just write 5 songs.
Yeah.
You can't just write 20 songs.
Mhm.
You looking for that really great song that's gonna change people's lives, change your life because
Yeah.
it changed their life. You gotta write hundreds of songs.
That's what
So
you
yeah,
just got to do.
now
Yeah.
now we have someone. I mean, we have a lot of people on our team that are like, "Wow, I really do like that song," but never
Yeah.
have we had someone that said that. I'm not saying that's a bad song. It's a good song, but it doesn't stand up against this one. So go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Write it again. Write another one. Okay, that's not quite it. Write another one. It's kind of a great exercise, but it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. It
It's a lot of
is,
pressure.
right? It surely is though. And with everything that we like covered today and said today, what is going back to the fans when they see this, when they hear this, if they don't, or if it's your new fans, from each one of you, what is one thing, starting with you, Charles, that you would tell your fans right now or your upcoming fan?
Uh, I would say that you don't know how long your dream is going to take. You're not. That's not something you're in control of.
Mm-hmm.
When you set out to become the best pop artist in the world, the best podcaster in the world, the best videographer in the whatever it is,
Right.
you don't get to set the timeline for that. What you have done is you've set the wheels in motion for a lot of challenges in order to make you that. If you look at the Olympic athletes, they
Mm-hmm.
have to train over and over and over again, do the same thing, but do it better, do it faster,
Right.
get stronger over and over and over again. And sometimes, I mean, for some of those guys, they start when they're kids to be
Yeah.
able to get to where they are right now. And they don't get to have 5 years and then they get into the Olympics. For a lot of them, it's 10, 15 years. So whatever your dream is, give it time. Give it 10, 15, 20 years and understand that the challenges are part of the program. They're not there to make you quit. They're not there because you're not supposed to. They're there because you said, this is what I want. So if that's what you want, you have to become the type of person that can have that thing that you want, that dream that you want.
Yeah, and that takes years.
I love that. I
That
love that.
takes many
Portia,
years.
what would you say?
I mean, just to even, I was just thinking, just to even, I mean, I believe in the 10,000. I'm pretty sure a lot of people understand and
Yeah.
know and have heard of that concept, the 10,000 hour rule, of becoming a
Mm-hmm.
master at anything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you, that in itself, like, logically is going to take you how many years just to get 10,000 hours of whatever this thing is that you're trying to master.
Right.
So, I agree with you on that. But back to your question, what was your question?
What would you tell the super fans, your current fans, or your new fan?
What would I want them to?
Yeah, what would you give them about their dreams or their accomplishments or knowing who you are as an artist? In fact, you could tell them one thing.
I mean, nobody's gonna believe it more than you, and you can't rely on someone else to carry you across the finish line.
Mm,
Uh, all of the successful people that I don't care if they're in entertainment, they're in business, um, they believe in themselves more than anybody believes.
yeah.
And that's why I was saying earlier, the one family member that I have, like, or anybody around you, like, it's not even up to them to believe in your dream. Like, that's not their
Yeah.
job.
Exactly.
Now, you may have a partner that I was saying it should be their role to be very supportive, to believe in it almost as much as you. But guess what? The only reason why Beyonce is because Beyonce
Hmm.
believed in herself.
Yeah.
The only reason why Jay-Z is Jay-Z, you can say, oh, they had the support. Yeah, they did. But that wasn't going to carry them to the finish line. It's just not. It's just not. So, yeah, anybody that follows us, any of our super fans, you know, if you have something that you really want to do, just know that it's not going to happen. It's going to happen to the level that you believe. That's
Right.
it. You can have zero skill at this thing,
Exactly. Yeah.
but if you believe it, that's all you need, because your belief is going to take you to the impossible. I don't care what nobody says. Everything's a skill set.
Yeah.
Everything.
It
I
is
don't care what it is.
skill issue. Yeah.
That's why the 10,000 hour rule is what it is.
Yeah.
Because let's
Absolutely.
say singing, for instance, which is very controversial. Most people are like, no way, no way. you gotta have at least a starter voice. I call them starter voices, right?
The starter
Because
voice?
yeah. Because my sisters actually, all of my sisters have good voices
Nice.
that just needs um practice,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I call it a starter voice.
Yeah, okay,
But
that's why,
you'll
yeah.
see that you'll be like, oh yeah, they can carry a tune. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about the person that can't carry a tune. I know most people's belief is that they could
Mm-hmm.
never be a singer.
Mm-hmm.
I believe otherwise. Singing is a skill set like everything else, like playing the guitar, playing the bass. It's a
Right.
skill set. I don't care what you say. We all have voices. We have the instrument.
Mm-hmm.
So even that person that looks like the impossible, the person that is homeless, that wants
Yeah.
to be a billionaire, that looks impossible. If you believe, that belief is going to take you to where you got to go, but you got to believe it.
Yes.
And you just got to like, nope, that's my destiny, period.
Yeah.
And then you got to be that last man standing.
Exactly.
You don't quit.
Yeah. Showing them.
Don't quit. Don't, no matter how hard it gets. I remember
Mm-hmm.
Charles used to have this analogy of like fighting for something because your head was underwater. If somebody pushes your head underwater, you ain't gonna sit there and be like, I don't want to
No.
live.
Yeah. You
You
gonna
know,
try
I
to
don't want
get
to
back in?
breathe. I don't feel like breathing.
Uh-huh.
No, you gonna fight for that breath.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
type of don't quit I'm talking about. So as
Mm-hmm.
soon as it gets ugly, the shit hits the fan,
And it
shit's all
does.
in your face. You like, I don't want this. Okay, now we realize you don't want to live. You don't want it. Okay, on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
So don't quit. Because if you ain't the last man standing, of course it's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
You the last man standing, it's happened because
Yeah.
the 1% to
Fight.
10% are at the top because they the last man standing. Like it's not a lot of
Exactly.
room up there, but at the same time it is because a lot of people
Yeah.
ain't
Make
like making them.
room.
A lot of people ain't making them kind of sacrifices. They like, but yeah, don't quit on your dream. Don't quit on yourself. Don't worry about what
That's,
everybody else is saying, but don't quit.
that's for sure. That's for
Yeah.
sure. And where can we find you guys? We want to listen to you right now. Where are we getting this music from? Where are we getting it from? I know where I found it. I've been
I
tuning in.
appreciate you, Cassandra.
I've been tuning
We
in.
we are on all major platforms, including like SoundCloud. We don't talk about SoundCloud enough, but we are actually on SoundCloud.
Okay.
Because we're always like, oh, we're on like Spotify and YouTube, like it's the
Mhm.
upper echelon of things. But
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
sleep on SoundCloud. You be finding a lot of
Don't.
new
You
artists on
get some good
SoundCloud.
tunes on there. Yes.
Yeah, so we're on SoundCloud. We're on all major platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Tidal. Which one you listen to? We on that one.
Mhm.
And you can find us just by typing in. I'm
Literally.
just gonna
Show it
St
right there.
Oshun. That's it. STOSHUN. That's all you gotta do. St Oshun. So we're St Oshun on every last platform: Instagram, TikTok,
Mhm.
Facebook.
Okay. The blue app. Gotta get there.
Everything but Snapchat. I don't think we not snapping no more. Ain't no Snapchats.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of old school Snapchat. Yeah. It is.
I think we're even on Threads.
Oh yeah, that's how we
Yeah,
connected.
that's how I found you. Threat.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes,
On
yes.
the
Such a
new
great networking area.
platform. So yeah, just look up STOSHUN St Oshun. You'll find us. We're there. We're trying to stay as well. Well, we back here working hard. Charles, really, he the one
Mhm. Yeah, I've
putting
been
out all.
sharing. I've been giving the link. I have been sharing all 2 weeks already. Like this is this. I'm
Aw,
like, I
I
love it. The
appreciate.
creativity. When you see another creator sees another creator, the consistency, the fact that you're on all platforms, people don't know that plays a big part.
You be
And
like, I get it.
yeah, yeah, I do it every
You be like,
day,
I'm
every day.
vibing because I know what you're
Mhm.
doing. Yes.
Exactly, and I understand the work and like the sacrifices and what it takes, and
Right, like the hustle
yeah,
behind the scenes.
yeah. People just think, oh, you come out with that, all right, you lay back. No, I still got to record. I have to post
You
it. I
gotta
have to
edit.
find. Yes,
Don't talk about
yes.
the edit.
And that's all I do. And I'm editing all the time. And I love it. I'm using so much different resources and things like that. But we got to make sure. And I'm like a perfectionist at times. So I have to make sure certain things, or I have
Oh,
to
that
just go
sound
with
like
the
me.
flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem, but it's all right.
But
It's
you
all
love
right.
it, and that's all that
I
matters.
do.
All
Yes,
right.
yes. Thank you guys so much for coming on this episode.
Thanks
It's
for
gonna be
having us. I would
great.
love to
Yeah.
do this again.
Anytime you guys let me know what you need, we'll do this again for sure, for sure, for sure. Everybody's gonna know where you guys are. They're gonna listen in, tune in, vibe with it, and this has been great. Thank you guys so much for joining this podcast.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much for having us, Cassandra.
No
Thanks,
problem. Thank you.
Cassandra.